Hello and welcome to Caching Waves. This is your Elliott Wave update for HBAR. Now going off our low here, there's a bunch of different scenarios I have panned out, but depending what we get on the next wave is going to change that probability. But I wanted to show you all the different scenarios. Once again, one is our ending diagonal, in which case we'd expect this to take a little more time to complete. We'd expect another wave up and then down for our fourth. So that's one scenario. Our other scenario is we're in the middle of a correction, middle of a B wave, in which case we'd expect further downside between this green area here. I'll mark that out as we go along if you want to subscribe. Our other scenario is this is a triangle, again, similar area. And our most bullish scenario is we're in a Y wave and we're looking to complete an ABC. It's kind of the only bullish scenario I have currently available at this exact moment. But I'll show you how that would pan out, but I'm still not quite interested in it. Few problems with this is the short E wave, and we didn't get the thrust we were expecting. But if this is moving up in a corrective nature, it doesn't matter as much, but it's still something to keep in mind. So every other one of those scenarios has us coming to further downside. Just wanted to point that out. But if we were to get this move, and this is an ABC to complete a Y wave, what would that look like down on the lower time frames? And that would be, we could technically be complete now, or this comes up as an ABC and we drift down in 5 waves. This looks like it can be counted both ways currently, as long as you allow for a double bottom here for our third wave to complete here, fourth and fifth. But again, I don't love it, so I can't really say anything with high probability at the moment for HBAR. But areas to pay attention to is the 70%. Let me extend that out a little bit. So this B wave can technically be complete, and that is if this A wave's over here and this is a expanded correction for a WXY or ABC, it's technically complete. If you can remember, this was a 3-wave pattern, so it can easily be a flat, an expanded flat, and we're right between the 618 and the 70%, and we're through that on linear scale. So a lot depends what happens in this area for what I'm going to do. Again, if the A wave's over here and we have a complex correction, then this should reject any time here, come up for 3, and then we'd expect that downside. Or if the A wave actually completed over here and we're technically complete, we technically are in the flat pattern where we'd expect 5 waves up for a C, up to those areas we discussed before at around 16 cents. So a lot's going to depend on what happens here. If we get a clean 5 wave up down on the lower time frames, if we get a clean 5 wave up here and we pass through the 618, it's really hard to see at the moment where we are in this count here. But if we extend up and we start to correct sideways, that's the most important to me, above previous resistance, then I might consider taking a long with the stop at this low, targeting that 16 cents. It all depends the reaction after we get the correction here. We will get a correction. It's not just going to take off. But it's hard to say what we're getting at the moment just because of all those scenarios I showed you. This is the most bullish. We just go straight up from here. Second is we have to drop again for a diagonal. Third is we have to drop again for a flat and that triangle. So you can see most of our corrections have us coming to the downside, except for this one. So because of that, I'm going to wait a little bit more. I will update this depending how far we come and the correction we get over the next day or two. But I would check out my other videos. There's better setups available than HBAR, but it is possible. There is some hope here as long as we get a nice impulse to complete and a nice sideways correction. We need to see those waves fill out before we get confident in any sort of trade setup. I want to see a nice sideways correction. All right, guys, that's it for this one. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you want to see my other videos. I'll see you on the next one.